Good morning, everybody, and good morning once again. If you have just come across the Football Talks from FUTV, hello, get into the chats, everybody. Give me your comments, give me your thoughts. It's FA Cup weekend. We are diving into the morning papers and all of the headlines, which are predominantly around some big results and some big games in the FA Cup. Who is today's game more important for? Ange Postecoglou or Marcus Rashford? Aston Villa against Tottenham is the tie of the round for so many reasons. It's Premier League against Premier League for one. Two big clubs. You would think their best chance for both of them clubs in winning some silverware this season. And also, obviously, a chance for them to sort of turn their season around, because Aston Villa have fallen off a little bit. Spurs are in a nightmare situation right now after being knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Liverpool in midweek. Who is it bigger for? That's where we're starting this show as well. We're going to talk about what was actually discussed regarding Marcus Rashford and him being the next Jesse Lingard. Troy Deeney with some big opinions on his piece as well in the papers and on Talk Sports regarding him. He's been talking to The Sun and was also talking about this on TalkSport as well regarding them two players. We're going to go through all of the other news as well, obviously bringing in your comments and your thoughts on everything that's going down. All of the results. What was the biggest result this weekend in the FA Cup? Who has been the biggest surprise? It's morning coffee time as well. So, yes, thank you to Kaz for that. Needed, much needed. Oh, we celebrated Kaz's birthday last night. Yeah, double show in the morning on a Sunday. It's not helped me at all, but this is the commitment to the cause and bringing you all your live content and news, everybody. And 2 Jaffa cakes as well, yes, to try and take the edge off. Oh, I feel like I need to go and lie down after this one. But anyway, let's crack on with everything that's going on. Ange Postecoglou, is this the day is this D-Day? We've said this a few times, haven't we now? Like, is this the last game for Ange? Is his time up? Does he need to win this game? I personally feel right now, the FA Cup, having been... I looked at the start of the week, fixtures, and he had 3 games, Ange Postecoglou. He had Brentford away in the league. He then had Liverpool in the semi-final second leg of the Carabao Cup. And then he's got Aston Villa in the FA Cup this weekend. And looking at them games, I thought, right, I don't see him beating Brentford because Spurs' league form is shocking. Brentford's home form is great. And I thought that would be the first hurdle fellow. I think if he lost that game and then they got the result that everybody was expecting, we covered it here on Football Talks, they were dreadful against Liverpool. They didn't even throw a punch. It was embarrassing for them. Massive defeats and out of another trophy. So I thought they were going to lose to Brentford. They didn't. That's the only game that's kept them afloat. And now this one today. Aston Villa against Spurs. What a massive game this is, I think, for Ange Postecoglou. But get into the comment section as well, everybody, because this is big for so many reasons. It's like, is Rashford going to get his debut? Are we going to see what what Unai Emery said in his press conference about Rashford training exceptionally? And he is going to help him find his old form and find his ways again. I mean, go for it. Go for it. I hope that Marcus Rashford absolutely smashes it. I hope it starts today. I really do. Everybody knows my opinion on Marcus Rashford, but I hope today that it is against Tottenham and Villa go through. But in terms of the FA Cup, there were some really big games yesterday, and obviously there has been casualties as well. We're looking at the Chelsea dropping out last night, being beaten, having led against Brighton. Obviously, a lot of Chelsea fans are realising what they have bought now in Jadon Sancho. A lot of hate going on him at the moment as well, as you can expect. Obviously, Jadon Sancho, we all know as Manchester United fans, is not the right type of character you need when the chips are down. And I think he's showing his true colours again at Chelsea right now. Poor form. I think what's that now? I think it's something in the region of 20 games and 2 goals. So, yeah, we really didn't do Chelsea a favour, did we? But, yeah, we'll talk about all of the FA Cup games and get your comments in on your most favourite one. But with the Aston Villa game today, Emery with Rashford, Ange Postecoglou living on the edge. It's got everything riding on it, I think. And Ange, I think, is in that situation now where he's in desperate need of a cup run to save his future at Tottenham, I think. And we've seen this work before. We've seen it with back in the day. As far back for me as a United fan, knowing Sir Alex Ferguson, Mark Robbins, Nottingham Forest, getting that late goal, saving the season, and United going on a cup run and winning the cup that season, and then everything turned around from that point. And you can see it even in seasons that have just gone by as well. Look at Erik ten Hag, for instance, winning the FA Cup, kept him in a job. It literally did keep him in a job. He would have been sacked in the summer. It pains me still thinking about that, but they are the facts. Like, you do get these moments, don't you? You do get cup runs in managers' careers that do save jobs. They really do. And I think Ange is in that position right now. He needs a win. He needs to win. He needs to definitely take away that game against Liverpool from the Tottenham fans' minds by doing something today and getting a performance today. It was embarrassing. I mean, away at Aston Villa is not an easy game. It's not an easy game. You don't want that game, do you? It's not the one that you're looking for. Like back-to-back away games at Anfield and Villa Park in the Cup, and then your season's riding on that. I don't even think him still being in Europe is going to help him right now. I think at this point, if you lose today and Spurs are where they are in the league, then you're looking at probably bringing another manager that might be able to get more out of this team and salvage something by winning the Europa League. I think that's where we're at right now. I don't think there's much that he can do. He just needs to stay in the FA Cup, and I think that's the only thing that will keep him alive in his job. Winning a trophy, obviously, is massive, and obviously gets him Europa League next season. Very similar situation to where we're at with Manchester United, except we have changed our manager. So I think we are understanding as United fans that Spurs' situation right now is probably even more on a knife edge than Manchester United's, because, like I said, we have changed the manager. Let's get into some of your comments on this one. Can they do it? You got Ross. It says Rashford having a decent rest of the year, so we don't have to sweat him leaving. He's just asking too much. He makes everything difficult. He does. It's great to come on Rashford. Perform, and we can sell you. Thank you. Thank goodness Chelsea have committed to buying Sancho. About time we turned Chelsea over on a transfer. It's very true. To be honest, I want Spurs. I don't want Spurs to ever win a trophy with Levy for what he did to Jose. That's from Stu. He is a hated figure, isn't he, Daniel Levy? He really is one of them hated guys, isn't he? Like, even opposition fans don't like him. Spurs fans despise him, but opposition fans hate him just as much, don't they? It is one of them scenarios with Daniel Levy where it's just basically he's just one of them like unlikable characters. I think he's had everybody's pants down one time or another in a transfer window, and I don't think anybody likes him. I think he's one of them slimy sort of. I'm probably not the right word to use, but you know what I mean by it. He's one of them that'll just. He won't think twice about gazumping somebody. He dreams of gazumping people, doesn't he? And getting deals done and going in ahead of people. Like the way that he flew out to try and make that Mathis Tell deal with Bayern Munich. Initially that failed, but obviously they've got him now. But I still feel like that one will fall and fail for Spurs. But they are in a desperate situation. I think when you spend 10 million on a loan fee to bring in someone like Tell, who is unproven in the goal scoring side of things, which is why you really needed to bring him in because you've lost Solanke, I think he's showing desperation right now, and Spurs are desperate. They really are. More comments coming in. Keep them flying in, especially in this insane world. Got my herbal tea now. I've got my coffee now. Red Baron, thank you. Mr. Dacia Sandero in the chat says, hi Adam, I predict that this will be Ange's last game in charge for Spurs today. I don't believe he has a high caliber level coach. He's not a high caliber level coach. What would you say his best attributes are? Because I don't see any. Look, I think he is a motivator. I think he is definitely one of them. I could see definite good man managers. I think he does talk a good game. I think if anything of us to say, I think he gives the players a little bit of freedom. I think he makes them believe that they can play. I just don't think his system works and the high line, and I think he demands too much out of his players, which is his downfall. There's me trying to think of a high, and I'm talking about his lows, so you're probably right on that one, Mr. Dacia Sandero. I think it is hard to pick out one of his good points. I mean, his football's not boring, is it? That's one thing. It's exciting, but exciting to a level where it's dangerous, and you're never going to win anything. So what do Spurs fans want right now? I think they'd stink the season out under Jose Mourinho and get a trophy. That's where they're at. They're playing attractive football, and they are one of the most exciting teams to watch in the league, but still, they're not doing anything. So they're never going to win a trophy playing that way. That's the thing. When was the last time Spurs won anything? If Ange brings home a trophy, they have to keep him, which is why staying in the FA Cup is massively important. What are your score predictions on that game today, everybody, by the way? Aston Villa against Spurs. It's the tired round for all the reasons we've just discussed. But what is your score prediction for the game? What are you saying? Please keep liking the video as well, everybody. We're around 200 people in the room. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get them videos up. Let's get them likes up over 100 if we possibly can. Thank you. Let's smash it. Be interesting to see who plays worse when we play Spurs next week. Do you know what? I didn't even think about the Manchester United game with Ange in this. I'm thinking of these cup games, but then he's not in Europe this week because thankfully he qualified in the top 8, which is a saving grace for him, because another game for him right now would really be, I think it would be damaging. I don't think they've got the capabilities to see out another game. Well, not double game weeks right now with the squad that they've got. So he's done well in qualifying. I think that's going to hold him in good stead as well. But United against Spurs, that's an even bigger game, isn't it, next weekend in the league? You imagine you get embarrassed at Anfield, you lose 4-0, then you go and get beat today by Aston Villa, and this is an if, obviously not played yet, and then you lose to Man United at home next weekend. Oh, done. Done. That is him finished. Some comments coming in on the results of what you think. It's going to be Mr. Dacia Sandero 3-1 to Spurs. Stu's gone 2-1. Villa 3-1 against Spurs. Dacia Sandero 2-1 Villa for Stu. 3-1 Villa. 2-1 to Spurs. Mash up. 2-0 Villa. 3-1 Villa. Spurs will win the Europa, says Block. No, they won't. United are going to win that, Block. Come on, think positive. He's also gone 4-2 Villa. Rashford hat-trick. Yes. You know what? If he did, I'd be buzzing because he's still a United player. And if he works somewhere, I said this on FUTV this morning. Look, if Rashford has a great game today, it's just because that scenario suits him better at the moment. United doesn't. And that's why I'm talking about loaning players out like Rasmus Højlund earlier on. It may just work better elsewhere. And I hope it does for Marcus Rashford today. But it is a massive day, and all eyes will be on that game later. I won't, because we've got Kaz's game today. Winton Wanderers, our first game with Coach Ads in situ. So, yes, the turnaround. We was actually discussing whether or not to do a new sort of video, or I don't know on this. And I should have probably asked this question on FUTV as well. But do we need to start vlogging the Winton Wanderers ladies story on YouTube? That's the question. I might even do a poll on it. We will see. But should we start vlogging it and making a series out of it? It is football related, and we do football talks, don't we? I don't know. Maybe we should. You let me know, everybody, in the chat. Keep hitting the like button as well. Thank you, everybody, for saying that in the comments section. I hope Rashford scores a hat-trick every week for them. Sell becomes easier in the summer. The buy option for Marcus Rashford at Aston Villa is just over, about 40 million. I would take that. I would definitely take that. And that would definitely help Manchester United 100%. And think of that money that we can reinvest. Marcus Rashford out and Victor Gyökeres in. Yeah, we'll take that one, won't we? We'll take that one. Yeah, we have put that poll up right now. Should we vlog the Winton Wanderers experience and the journey? Get your votes on that one, by the way, everybody. Let me know. I'm going to leave that one running for a bit. That'd be a lot of work. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, it'd be great. Yeah, but I won't have any time to myself. But hey, you're in control, everybody. It's up to you. It's up to you. Anyway, I want to move on with the... it's alluding to Marcus Rashford again, so we'll carry on from Ange's situation, that game today, into the Marcus Rashford situation right now, and what Troy Deeney was saying in his article in The Sun. And he said in that article, he said, look, I would love to be sat here being proved wrong that Marcus Rashford has turned his career around and making this loan move was the right move. In that same conversation on TalkSport, even with Alex Crook there, he was saying, like, you don't move from Manchester United to Aston Villa if you are that player. If you are that good, it's not a move that you make. Anyway, Troy Deeney went on to say, all he can see right now for Marcus Rashford is Jesse Lingard vibes and just another career going down the Swanee. You look at Lingard, you look at Dele Alli, you look at players like this. It was a really interesting listen and read with Troy Deeney and what he said. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse all the time with younger players these days. It's never their fault. There's nothing more that they can do. Well, there is what he is saying. And he hopes that is what is proving him wrong later down the line. And he's writing another article saying that Marcus Rashford has turned everything around and he's now this brilliant player again. And he is the Marcus Rashford that we knew. He just doesn't see it happening. He's saying it as everybody else says it. And I think that ultimately is where everybody sees this going. I do think that this is right now the Marcus Rashford story. I think I can't see it succeeding. I think it's going to fail. We just said then we all hope that he does actually kick it off and does really well at Aston Villa. I hope Emery gets the best out of him. Emery is a top coach. I'm still staggered that Unai Emery actually took Marcus Rashford in. He sees a player there. Yes. I just don't know. I just don't know what he was thinking. But look, we're all here to be proved wrong. We're all here to be proved wrong. And let's just see if Marcus Rashford turns it around. But all eyes on Villa today for the Marcus Rashford story, for the Ange Postecoglou story, for everything. There is so many little subplots within them games today. And I think it is going to be a good day for football, to be honest. Really exciting games to watch. I think we'll be in the pub, actually, after the game, watching the Villa game, actually. So that would be all right. Celebrating Kazi's 4 goals today, which she told me is the minimum she's going to score. And then watching Aston Villa against Spurs in the pub afterwards with a bit of food. Lovely jubbly. FUTV should sponsor Winton Wanderers. Do you think we should? Should give them everything? Yes, Kaz 4. That's what's happening. And we are playing. Anyone who actually wants to come and say hello, if you're in the Manchester area or if you're in the Oldham area today, Winton Wanderers are playing at Crompton Cricket Club, 2 o'clock kick-off. It's our first game in Winton colours after the takeover. Yes, I'm joining the Winton Orange and Black Army. It's happening. Coach adds, striker Kaz, it's on. And today, Crompton Cricket Club, everybody. Make sure that you are there. I don't know what food and facilities are on for you or anything like that, but maybe bring the wellies just in case, you know. That's what's got to happen at grassroots football. I'm loving all the comments about it. Rashford still wants Barcelona. He has to play incredibly well to go there. This is a pipe dream, isn't it? There's no way. Does anyone actually think that Marcus Rashford could actually make it at Barcelona? There's no way that that's going to happen. No way. I don't care, to be honest, to get 40 mil, and if Rashford becomes best player in the world, I don't care. Want him out the door, period. The realist, I'm pretty much bang on with you there, mate. Jesse's mistakes was coming back. See, this is where it went now. And this is what Troy Deeney was saying. He said it's exactly the same. When you look at it, Jesse Lingard went away on loan and did well at West Ham. And everyone thought, oh, Jesse's back. This is Marcus Rashford's time now, except he's going to Aston Villa. And I actually expect Marcus Rashford to hit some numbers this season, actually become that player. And then we'll see what happens from that. Because I don't think he's ever stepping foot on Manchester United, on the Manchester United turf ever again at Old Trafford. Not as a United player. Definitely not. And honestly, it'll be weird watching Marcus Rashford walk out against Manchester United at some point. I don't know if he's going to stay in the Premier League. If he gets that move to Barcelona, I think that's what he wants, to be away from the Premier League. I don't think he wants to be in and around Manchester. It'd be better for him not to be in and around Manchester. And Dini was talking about that as well. It's not a big enough move. He just has to jump on the M6 toll and he's back in 30 minutes. He's still got his life. It's still the same thing. He doesn't have to move home. It's too convenient. And it just looks like a quick fix. Now, I get that. I think that's why it suited him as well. And it is a clear problem, I think, him staying. But you get your comments in, let me know on that one. And please do comment on the show in the comment section below once the live is finished as well, everybody. I want to talk about the results in the FA Cup yesterday because there were some big ones. There were some close ones. That goal for Leyton Orient. Wow, City were lucky yesterday. They were. That was a proper cup tie, that one. That really was. Excellent game to watch. Excellent game of football. Very unlucky. What a goal that was. I know it was an own goal from Ortega, but to have the audacity to try and even pull that off, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So going through the result, obviously Friday night was United's 2-1 win against Leicester. Leyton Orient was the next game. They obviously lost to Manchester City, like we just said. Leeds are out, as a few United fans have been putting up on social media and on my shows this morning, laughing at them. Leeds out, 2-0 home defeat to Millwall. They'll be gutted about that, I think. Ipswich smashed Coventry 4-1. Sorry, Frankie boy. Defeat for the Coventry. No cup run for them this season. Preston won on penalties against Wycombe. Stoke lost on penalties to Cardiff as well yesterday. Another Premier League team dropped out, so that's 2 so far from the games. Leicester have gone. Southampton have gone. They were beaten at home by Burnley. Southampton's season, wow. Embarrassing. David Moyes couldn't handle the pressure of winning in the FA Cup as well as the Premier League. Bournemouth made it another win for them. Excellent season for Bournemouth. You won't want them in the next round, would you? You really wouldn't. So that's 3 Premier League teams gone from the fixtures. Everton, Southampton and Leicester City. Teams desperately down, scrambling around at the bottom part of the table. Fulham scraped by Wigan away from home. Little win there. Great game last night. St Andrews of Birmingham against Newcastle. Again, Newcastle's big boys had to turn up and get that victory there. That was a very, very tough game for them. 3-2 win for them. And then another Premier League team, and this is the biggest one, the biggest result, having gone in front and started the game well. I watched the start of this Chelsea game last night, actually, at Brighton. Started well. Mistake from the goalkeeper, from Cole Palmer's speculative efforts from way wide. But they came back into the game. And this is where I wanted to talk and go on a little bit. So when you look there, there's 4 more Premier League teams dropped out. So the biggest casualties already are Arsenal, obviously, in the last round, and now Chelsea in this round. We are going to lose 1 more Premier League team today for certain in that Aston Villa and Tottenham game. Is the competition starting to open up for somebody? Some big names gone by the by already. Chelsea and Arsenal, a big FA Cup pedigree in both of them teams. So you're looking right now at the likes of Newcastle, Manchester United and City being the big guns left in this competition, I think. I'm only saying Manchester United because we have a record and a pedigree in this competition, as we know. Been to the final the last 2 seasons. Obviously won the trophy, are the holders. So we do have to be recognised as one of the bigger teams in it. Forget Premier League form and all of that. But is the competition opening up for a surprise, maybe? Could that actually be happening this year? And again, like another big team in Spurs or Villa dropping out. So Chelsea, Arsenal and Villa or Tottenham all going in the first 2 rounds. Interesting. Will be. It's a tough one to call. I think the FA Cup has started to gather a bit more importance right now. And I think it's actually coming back a little bit as a trophy because the Europa League being linked directly to it and that avenue in, because the Premier League is not easy. There are too many teams that can win. And some teams take their eye off the ball in the FA Cup. And I think the FA Cup now is becoming more important without even realising. The investment into it is not there. Obviously, we know this. There's no money in it. It's not lucrative on that side of things. But to get you into Europe, this is now key. Because getting into the top 5 of the Premier League is incredibly difficult. So the FA Cup is massive now. It really is. And when you see teams like United and Spurs dropping down where they are in the league, and you see teams struggling like Villa as well, like mid-table right now, Newcastle not guaranteed in that European places, something can go wrong there. I think the FA Cup has become that trophy now that everybody is going to put a strong team out in. Even in the early stages, like we've seen in some of these games, like United did it, Newcastle did it. Obviously, City thought they could get away with it with a League One side, but just about scraped through by bringing on the likes of De Bruyne and Phil Foden in that game yesterday. So I think the FA Cup is now huge and massive. I mean, that's the question I want to ask. There is another bit I'm going to come to in this show in a moment off that Chelsea game, but how important is the FA Cup now, everybody? Talk to me in the comment section, please, everyone. Well over 200 in the room with us. Thank you so much, everybody. Keep them likes coming in. Can we get close to that 100 like mark, everyone? 58 in the bag. Love it. Keep your comments coming in as well. What's your top 4 prediction for the end of the season, Adam? I can't even think about that right now. I think it will be, honestly, off the top of my head, I see it being, I'm going to go Liverpool. I am going to keep Arsenal in there. I think they have shown enough grit. Liverpool, Arsenal. I think Forest and Newcastle. I think City will miss out. I think City can have a charge, but I just think there is a chance that they will miss out this time. And I would love it. I would love it. No City in the Champions League next season. Oh, that stings. But they are capable of having that run. But then they are capable this season, City, of conceding 5 to Arsenal. I mean, my God. My dad is a Villa fan. It is thought that Emery believes that in the short time frame and new surroundings, he can get the best out of him in a system that suits him. This will benefit United. Benefit United massively, mate. Sell Rashford by Xavi. His Leipzig contract only till 2027. And Xavi Simons, you mean there, Liam? Yeah, we did talk about that the other day, actually, and that the fact that Leipzig have bought him this month and then will sell him in the summer. Crazy scenario, but a real one, apparently. Adam, oh, how I wish we could play like Brighton. Jeffrey, oh, how I wish we could too, mate. I really do. Have a good and realist. I'll see you later on. But how important is the FA Cup, everybody? Get into the comment section. Let us know on that one. On that FA Cup game and that one against the Brighton game against Chelsea yesterday, last night. And there were a lot of social media calls regarding Jadon Sancho again right now. Manchester United guaranteed to get 25 million for Jadon Sancho in the summer. That money could be huge for Manchester United. And what a steal that is. Chelsea fans asking, what have we bought? Is this why Manchester United sold Jadon Sancho? What is going on? Is this poor recruitment again? What questions being asked now of the Chelsea manager and the system and everything that is going on? I mean, Maresca has done an absolutely amazing job with them players there, but are Chelsea now starting to just fall away? That's another question. Are they just starting to really find the run into the end of the season that difficult? The consistencies are starting to lead them. I do think that Manchester United, sorry, not that Manchester United, I think that Chelsea right now, I think they're in that struggling phase. I really do. I think they could end up falling away if they don't get to grips. Like out of the FA Cup, yes, they've still got the Conference League, but drifting in the league as well. Oh, I don't know. I mean, when you look at Chelsea right now, and just for instance, the Premier League, Maresca has done well. Still in that top 4, clinging on. I do think that they are under threat right now. I think the bigger games coming up for them. And they're not playing bad. But it's good and then bad and good. And little inconsistencies are creeping in right now. And I think the Chelsea fans are seeing some of them signings and the investments and not really bringing anyone in January, which is strange for Chelsea. They realise, I think, and everything that's actually happening right now with the likes of Jadon Sancho and his form and things like that, I do think that they're wondering what that investment was into Jadon Sancho. Is he actually that player? Why did we buy him? Why did we bring him in? They've let João Felix go and they've kept Jadon Sancho. I think these questions, João Felix scored on his debut for AC Milan as well, and he wasn't being used by Maresca. You've got to look at all of that, and you can see the Chelsea fans starting to get a little bit tetchy right now. Like top four, let's not forget that Chelsea are in a good position, still doing well, and definitely, I think overachieving. I think they're overachieving this season, but still, when you look at it and you look at everything that's in front of them right now, the form doesn't fill you with confidence for Chelsea. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think they are. I don't think they're in good enough form to actually continue a charge for the top four. Something needs to change. You know what? Maybe being out the FA Cup might help Chelsea. Maybe being out the FA Cup is for them probably the best thing. They're looking at the league table and saying that is actually the better option for them. I mean, you could look at it that way, but for me, like the FA Cup, like I just said, like Chelsea could drop out and drop 2 places. When you look at the league table right now again, so Chelsea in 4th, they're on 43. Man City 41, Newcastle 41, Bournemouth 40, all within a result of taking Chelsea. And Chelsea could go from 4th Champions League football, bang, straight to 7th, no European football. The FA Cup is that important, which is why I wanted to use Chelsea as the example there, because they should be going all out to try and get that FA Cup. Everybody needs to be right now. It is a backup to a disastrous next season. And that's no European football for these bigger clubs who are trying to balance their PSR books. It is absolutely huge. And why, again, I go back to it. The FA Cup is absolutely massive. It's monumental for all of these types of clubs. And that's how tight and difficult the Premier League is and why it's important. You're in 4th position there. You're thinking you're having a good season. 24 games in. You're definitely taking it. But you can be absolute 2 bad results and they can be down in mid-table in 8th. That's how difficult it is. And now that competition has gone. So no avenue into Europe. So Chelsea basically, I mean, I know they probably win the Conference League and that gets you into the Europa League as well. So they've got that as a backup. Maybe that is really what they're looking at with the FA Cup. Let's stay in the top 4. Concentrate on the league and the Conference League now. I think they've got more than enough to win the Conference League. That they should be winning that. And that's back into the Europa League next season. That may be where they're looking at it. But it just goes to show how important it is and how quickly you can fall when it comes to the Premier League and out of Europe completely. Super chat in from Glenn C. Thank you, Glenn. I know you did one before on FUTV as well. Thank you so much, buddy. The importance of the FA Cup was shown last season when we knocked Chelsea into the conference and Newcastle out of Europe completely. Exactly. That, I think, is key in all of this. I don't think people are looking at the FA Cup and what it actually brings. I think everyone looks at it as this sort of second-rate trophy now where you've got teams that are actually just playing out the games, nothing financially beneficial, but the future benefits are massive. I'm on a runaway. I'm on the runway. Best turn my phone off. Latest people. Cheers, Adam. Good luck today, Kaz. Nice one, Block. Have a good one, mates. FA Cup is well important. It's one of the only trophies we can still win, says Liam. Definitely. Love to win the FA Cup again, but prefer the European League. Yep, true. Chelsea got the bigger deal buying Sancho for 20 million compared to MUFC buying Mount for 55. I thought Chelsea paid the loan fee and it's 25 million. So, yeah, still, I get it. Mason Mount, we were stung. But nice to have a little bit of something back on Chelsea, isn't it? Nice to get that little bit of something back in there. Just going over all of the other news as well, just to keep you up to date with things that might be happening around Real Madrid. Looking at William Saliba, he is their top target for the summer. That would hurt Arsenal. To lose Saliba would be huge. Is the lure of Real Madrid going to affect the Premier League players and one of the Premier League teams again? Saliba to Real Madrid. They are going all out. They are going to get Trent in the summer. They are also going to go for Saliba. They are their targets. We know that Trent's already going. And now Saliba, a top target for them. And I can see why he would go. I really do. You cannot turn Real Madrid down. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that place has such an appeal to so many different footballers across Europe. Unless you're English and you're stubbornly loving the Premier League and you're completely committed to it, and you do get a few English players that just never move because it's not comfortable for them. I wish we did see a lot more English players going abroad, actually, but it doesn't happen that much. But like, obviously, the European players, they all seem to just want to go to Real Madrid, and Arsenal are going to have to be at it, I think, in the summer to try and hold on to some of their players. If these players don't win a trophy at Arsenal again, then you can understand why they would want to move to Real Madrid. You can understand why they would want to make that move. They're guaranteed trophies. They're guaranteed to play in front of 90,000 passionate fans every single week with some of the best players on the planet. I mean, Saliba straight away there, you're looking at his teammates in Tchouaméni, Camavinga and Mbappe from the French squad. He knows them already. It's the perfect time for him to go to Real Madrid. And I think they will, if they go for him, I think he'll move. I do think he'll go. On other news as well, Newcastle considering Newcastle and Chelsea. So this is one I've been looking at. Dean, I can never say his second name. Dean Hulson. I'm going to say it's Hulson, I think, as you say it right. He's the young centre-back who scored against Manchester United for Bournemouth in that demolition again at Old Trafford last year. But he is attracting attention from all over. What another find from Bournemouth. They are picking out some absolute gems right now. Bournemouth, I think, have to brace themselves for an absolute demolition of their squad in the transfer window come this summer. And you're looking at Kirkes, Hulson there, the young centre-back as well. These are players that they are going to struggle to hold on to. Will they be able to hold on to Semenyo, the likes of Kluivert? Just got Player of the Month as well. Brilliant, brilliant performances this season for them. Absolutely mega for Bournemouth. And I think the transfer window this summer is going to really, really hit some teams hard. Like I said there, like, you can look at everybody looking towards Arsenal, and Arteta's building this team. It's a great football. But if you're not winning trophies, these players are going to end up leaving. They will, because it starts to get to a point where they never believe that they're going to be able to get their hands on a trophy. And it becomes too late for them. They will go to Real Madrid. Then you're looking at the likes of Bournemouth and like what they're building. Can they attract players? Yes. Hidden talents. Can they keep the players? No. And sadly, that is the case. And unfortunately, the teams with the big purses and the big money are always going to be the ones that are successful, and they will be tapping into the recruitment work from these smaller clubs. Kirkes, Hulson there that we're talking about. Bournemouth have got a tough whole summer ahead of them. They have. And then you go to the bigger scale and what Real Madrid are doing at Arsenal and what they will be doing to other clubs, like they're tapping into Liverpool, tapping into Arsenal. Just picking off the best talents. And this is what happens. Bayern Munich do it all the time in Germany as well. It's sad. Who would you sign from Bournemouth? Whoa, who would I sign from Bournemouth? Oh, I would definitely get Kirkes. I like Hulson as well. I think he's a great player. I really do. There are a few players there as well. I mean, I like Semenyo. He is brilliant as well. Quick, rapid, good player. I wouldn't go for Kluivert. I think he's done well, but I would say definitely Kirkes. Hulson is definitely a player that won't last there. I like most of their players, I do, but they would be top two that I would take. Bournemouth and Brighton are proper contenders for the FA Cup. They could be on that. Yeah, I see that, Stephanie. Taiwo, go easy on the Caps, please. Oh, sorry, someone doing plenty of Caps lock in. Yeah, don't abuse it. That's all we say. That's all we say. Let's just see what else we've got in here. If Manchester United had kept Erik ten Hag, they would be guaranteed of a cup, either FA Cup or Europa. Now it's all in the balance. No, Annie, definitely not. There's no guarantee in that at all. I mean, Europe, he hadn't even won a game. We might not have even qualified if Erik ten Hag had stayed. And do you think he would have been able to beat Arsenal? He's never beaten Arsenal away from home. He's never managed to beat anyone away from home in the top part of that table in the big six teams. We know his record. He always had easy cup runs, Erik ten Hag. Yeah, we could say that we beat City in the final. That was simple enough. We had to get up for a big game with all the cameras on us, and we managed to do it. We came back from behind and we beat Liverpool at home, but we never have a tough away day for Erik ten Hag. He would have been out already. I don't think we'd have been qualified for Europe if we'd have kept ten Hag. I don't think we'll be where we are now in the FA Cup if we'd have kept ten Hag. That's my opinion on that. Lamptey was class yesterday. Poor the week before against Brighton, but then good last night. Yeah, I get it. There's so many teams like Brighton, Bournemouth. You're looking at them. You look at Nottingham Forest. What are Forest thinking? They play today as well. When you look at Forest away to Exeter City today, like Forest are literally... No, not today, sorry. They play on Tuesday. 2 more FA Cup games. It's spread out over like 5 or 6 days, the FA Cup this weekend's crazy. But yeah, Nottingham Forest play against Exeter on Tuesday. I think they're into the 5th round. And I think, actually, when you look at it there, Nottingham Forest have got to be up there as one of the favourites for the Cup. Let me just check when the actual draw actually is. I need to double check this. Draw. Okay. FA Cup draw. It's 5th round, isn't it? 1 second. Let's just double check. When is the draw for the 5th round? 5th round will be made live on BBC's One show on Monday. So tomorrow the draw at 7:10. Right. Okay. So that's the one for us. So we'll know tomorrow who we get in the next round of the FA Cup. And yeah, I think it's open for everybody. The importance of the FA Cup, that's what I want you to get into the comment sections below, everybody. Let me know what you think. Is it now one of the major trophies again, simply because of what it brings and guarantees you for the next season in Europe? That is it for our morning show. That is it for the paper round, everybody. Thank you so much for all of your contributions and your comments in there as well. Wish us luck. We'll be back later on FUTV about 7:15 tonight, 7:15, everybody. Me and Jay live special show this evening. So make sure that you're there. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show this morning. I will see you all later on this evening. Have a fantastic Sunday. Wish Winton Wanderers ladies luck and Kaz luck in the chat, everybody, before you go. And we'll see you all later on.